Good news everyone, you still got time to get your very own plush version of our mascot ranch. We've had over 300 pre-orders so far, so if you want to grab your very own and make this a reality for everyone, check out the link in the pinned comment below and secure your very own. We can do this, guys. Let's get on with the video.
Frieza log. Stardate. Seeing stars after that right hook the monkey gave me. I thought I was rid of that short stack. Hey guys, MasakoX here. Pretty soon, it's gonna be May, and it's time to return to the intergalactic dramarette of this particularly iconic bad guy from back in the day of Dragon Ball Z. A lot of people, when I started this little exercise, thought it was impossible, that somebody of this caliber and background could never become a good guy. He was literally created to become the ultimate example of neutral evil. I mean, you can't have chaotic evil as a galactic emperor because otherwise nothing would get done, and things would be in, well, chaos. King Cold had got it right with creating his son Frieza after bungling it earlier on with Cooler, but it turns out that the second bounce here was just as defective as the last one, even though Frieza was given short shrift and not really a compelling case. But regardless, if we're going to be tackling something so bold, then we need to do it right, and that's what we endeavour to continue with in the 5th chapter of the tale of what might happen if Frieza turned good. We're not going by the books with your redemption story chestnuts here. This has to be something done with the idea of self-discovery in mind. Frieza here doesn't just get to become good lickety-split, he needs to figure things out on his own and build up a whole new idea on how life works, away from the trappings of his former life in the Frieza Empire. Away from there, and with only a spaceship for company for a pretty long time, the Mecha Frieza from the post-Namek Saga had slowly gained a better moral compass, or at least showed restraint in terms of presentation and how to deal with people. His final and modified form had proven his biggest help since people had never seen it before. He made actual comment of that in the show, and thusly, he could actually come up with his own identity. Or nothing at all and just act like a basic space drifter so nobody would care about him. Frieza did manage to procure himself some help amongst the stars, whilst all the while, the Dragon team were busy gearing themselves up for the androids coming soon, and Goku, now here, being quite arrogant in comparison to the original story, and choosing to relegate the heart medicine to a random drawer in his house, instead of just simply forgetting to take it in time like in the original. In the last part, Frieza had managed to get his ship back thanks to the helpful work of the plucky and small Cheelai, much younger here than she is when we meet her in Broly because, obviously, this is set a bit further in the past. With her aid, Frieza had begun to really find some kind of direction in his life, and once he's been able to get an upgrade from his old friend Kit, the three of them then set out to slowly generate some income, and then ultimately buy a brand new ship so that Frieza can be fully rid of his past completely, starting anew with a crew and now getting back on his robotic feet. However, the past came back to deliver a hammer blow to his ego, as well as his jaw. They had gotten quite close to Vegeta training nearby on Yardrat, because out in the depths of space, there is no mistaking energies when they come nearby, and Frieza's, yeah, Vegeta would remember. And now, having been trained to get stronger in his eyes, the prince decided to try his luck and see if in this new power he could get the win from Kakarot. Oh, what good news would it be to then rock up back to Earth and tell them that he managed to clean up Kakarot's mess. In the here and now though, in this back alley on a random planet, the air is so thick you could cut it with a space knife. The cat was out of the space bag. Frieza had been rumbled, and now his crew knew the truth about their commanding officer. Upon further thought in those seconds after Vegeta's punch, that revelation sort of hurt more than the punch itself. Cheelai and Kit are left speechless, but then, mostly out of instinct from her times as a street rat, Cheelai leaps onto the back of Vegeta and tries to choke him. But yeah, that goes nowhere. Vegeta is in destruct mode. He reaches back and grabs Cheelai from off his back and throws her to the ground, causing her to be covered in scrapes and cuts. Kit tends to her as both Vegeta and Frieza stare each other down. "Leave the girl alone, Vegeta. She has done nothing wrong. Your quarrel lies with me," Since when did you care for other people's well-being? Where was that talk when you erased the lives of billions of people for no reason other than your selfish desire, including my own people?
Frieza here is feeling fiery and pushes back. You filthy monkeys were more trouble than you are worth. Sooner or later, you would have ravaged our civilizations and sent the galaxy back to the era of simple tools and where brute strength was the only currency. You were a menace to us all and needed purging from this universe. I was doing the galaxy a favor.
This doesn't anger the prince. In fact, it makes him smirk viciously.
So you would finally admit it. You admit that we Saiyans scared you. In that case,
Vegeta gets into position and powers up.
I will haunt you until the day you die.
Vegeta charges forward and the two of them begin to duel. All the while, Cheelai and Kit are left slack-jawed at the last 2 minutes. All the while, Frieza is dreading what will come next. Vegeta probably knows the power that Goku showed on Namek 2. He too must be a Super Saiyan, and soon enough, he will unveil it in a fit of pure bluster fit for a prince of his stature, but the moment never comes. Frieza's anticipating constantly a huge leap in battle power and the golden hair, but it never materializes. What's going on here? Frieza decides to charge up a powerful punch to the gut, which wins Vegeta considerably.
What the?
Frieza then grabs the prince, throws him in the air in a suplex, and sends it crashing into the rubble of the sidewalk. Frieza turns around to see Vegeta still there, seething.
Go ahead and show me that Super Saiyan power. I bet you're gagging to show it off like your friend did. Get it over with and satisfy your base pride, monkey.
Instead of a golden aura, Vegeta explodes with anger, and this results in a massive crater, which obliterates the alleyway as well as the buildings around it. There is panic in the streets, as hundreds of people are fleeing for their lives. Vegeta is covered in dirt, and his clothes are torn, but he is staring transfixed at Frieza, looking wild.
I don't need that power to end you.
Frieza isn't impressed.
Oh, I think you do. You just don't want to admit it to yourself. You got desperate to show off, didn't you? You're half-baked. You haven't learnt it yet. Oh, Vegeta, you should have left me alone a little longer. You've made a big mistake.
Vegeta then charges up, looking absolutely animalistic in his frustration. He calls upon his Yardratian training, trying to procure something, and he does. A clone of himself to aid him, which is a perfect copy, one of the examples of said training, and together the two Vegetas try to take down the former Emperor. But this time, Frieza is actually trying to fight back. Frieza is indeed surprised with how easy this fight is. What was in these upgrades of kits? I mean, whatever it was proving even more effective than what the scientists back in Frieza Planet 1 could do. In the end, the clone of Vegeta disappears in a puff of smoke, and Vegeta is left standing there, exhausted.
What? I don't understand. How?
Frieza elbows Vegeta in the head and grabs his throat.
Will you get it through your thick head? If you are not a Super Saiyan, then you will never win. And it doesn't matter anymore anyway. What's done is done. Read my lips, monkey. I am no longer your enemy.
Vegeta is struggling for breath and a valid retort, but can't come up with either.
If you want to dismantle my empire, be my guest. It is no longer mine. My father took it from me because I saved your friend's life.
You saved his life?
Ultimately, yes, but that wasn't my initial intent. I tried to fool the simpleton into asphyxiation in space, but that didn't work out too well for me, as you can probably tell from my disfigured appearance. But that wasn't enough to convince father, dear, and so here I am, without an empire, without purpose. Well, maybe one.
Frieza turns to see if Cheelai and Kit are still there, but they're long gone. Frieza lets Vegeta go, and he collapses to the floor, spluttering. After a few seconds, Vegeta gets up and chuckles.
Look at you. You made friends. Some friends they were if they turned tail and ran at the news that they were friends with a tyrant. You can never escape your past, Frieza. I will end your father's work and everything to do with it. But hear my words, freak, and prepare yourself. When all of this is over, I will come back for you, and I will show you no mercy.
Vegeta then puts his fingers on his forehead and disappears from view. Frieza is left alone again. Granted, Vegeta had let him live, but at what cost? All of the good work he had done to forge a new life for himself had seemingly been taken away from him, and now he had lost the closest thing he had to friends. Those Saiyans. He will never realize true contentment in this lifetime with them around.
So? Is he gone?
What? Who's gone?
That madman who destroyed this place. Is he gone?
Well, yes. A wave of relief comes over the group, who were keeping their distance.
Thank you. We feared that he would cause more havoc around here had you not shown up.
Wait, you don't understand,
Yeah. Good word, droidy boy.
Kit? Cheelai! Sure enough, the two of them are among the crowd of onlookers, looking prideful at their boss's seemingly good deeds. Frieza's thinking, roll with this. Yes! I sent that monkey packing. He regretted the day that he dared to disrupt the status quo of this place. He couldn't quite remember the name of the planet he was on, but no matter. It's time to use his former life's nous and do some kind of spin the facts. After a while of this, he had managed to convince the crowd that Vegeta was the bad guy here, and that Saiyans were still alive, ready to cause more mayhem to civilized society like they'd done centuries before. After a cheer, the onlookers begin to disperse, going about their daily lives, them giving further thanks to Frieza. Once they are gone, the only two people left are Kit and Cheelai. They are still there, but have a neutral expression. So, you're not what we thought you were. To be fair, I never lied to you. I just chose not to say my name.
Pretty sure that's lying, droidy boy.
So I bet you're going to take our new ship and run, I expect. Leave me here? Go ahead. I've been abandoned once before, so just get it over with.
What are you talking about? We got it made with you. Why would we leave?
What?
Lucky for you, sir. You picked two people for your crew who aren't exactly goody two-shoes themselves.
Frieza is surprised. Usually in these situations, this is the part where the truth is laid bare. The person is left to rot by their former allies. I mean, what's going on?
I told you I'm not a people person, so your job offer of dumping me on that garbage world came at the right time. Without that sense of purpose, I probably would have done something unproductive with my life. At least there, I could be left to my tinkering in peace. I guess I have the Frieza Empire to thank for that.
Cheelai shrugs.
Well, I've never known anything different. You came along and gave me a home and value in what I learned on the streets.
I think what the girl's trying to say is, we speak as we find, and we found you, it'd be alright. Frieza.
Frieza is actually really emotional right now. Now, I bet you're a little unsure of this, aren't you? Well, the thing about this is that I feel that based on Cheelai's main alignment, she is a true neutral character, as is Kit. Cheelai has done things for her own betterment, as well as those that she cares about. If that is threatened, she will aid them, but if it doesn't affect her directly or doesn't offer her gain, then she can take it or leave it. Frieza had been nothing but good to her and given her a place to call home, so as far as she's concerned, this Frieza is totally different to the one that she had heard from hearsay. And for Kit, same deal. Frieza's job that he had foisted upon him turned out to be a blessing in disguise. Kit was spared from social niceties and was allowed to indulge in what he was born to do, and that was to invent and tinker in solitude without interruption. For this pair, Frieza was their hero. Hero. That was a word he never expected to hear attached to him.
Come on, Captain.
Pipes up Cheelai after a quiet moment.
Let's go get our ship and get out of here.
Frieza snaps out of his personal reflection and nods in agreement. With that, the trio begin their preparations to head off into space with their new identities. As they're ready to leave though, Kit poses the question that needed to be answered.
Say, where are we going anyway?
If I'm to be truly rid of my former life, there are some things I need to fix first. I need to improve, especially if that monkey is going to be dogging me for the rest of my days. Set a course for Yard Rat. Hold up, pipes up Cheelai. You're going to avoid that guy by going to where he came from? I know it sounds daft to the extreme, but hear me out. That monkey has now got the bit between his teeth. I know Vegeta. He will stop at nothing to go after my father, and whilst he's off causing him all sorts of grief, good, I will get stronger and then finish the job. If the prince could improve that much so quickly without turning golden, then there must be something to those weird creatures.
Kit mulls this over.
Alright,
Setting a course for Yaldrat.
And with that, the new ship speeds its way there. Meanwhile, Frieza's suspicions proved absolutely correct. Vegeta is now training on a random planet with a decent gravity level and atmosphere. Those Yardratians had taught him enough. He didn't need to go back to them. He didn't need any more of that nonsense, especially since Frieza was left lingering about the place. His goal now is to attain Super Saiyan on his own, without Kakarot's help. Prove Frieza wrong, and then tear down that empire before then ending that monster's life, and avenging, finally, his people. With Vegeta busy, Yardrat was left wide open for Frieza to counter. Meanwhile, on Frieza Planet 1, King Cold's latest project has been unveiled, and out steps a small figure, whose appearance is similar to Cooler and Frieza's before him, but more angular. The purple accents replaced with silver and cream. Trojan is born, and King Cold couldn't be any more thrilled.
Look at you, my boy. I can already see it. You won't disappoint me.
He actually had just cause to think that. Having seen Frieza reach his final form, all the information that was gathered from that transformation during Frieza's life-saving operation before had been planted in this third son. Even in his first form, Trojan was as strong as Frieza's final form, and when Trojan reaches his own final form, he's going to be mighty. Nobody will be able to stop him. Not Frieza, not any Super Saiyans, not even his own father. I mean, hopefully that third scenario never comes true, of course.
All right, son. It's time to get this galaxy back into some sort of order. Let's get to work.
Yes, father. And that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now. So what do you guys think? Do you feel that Trojan and Vegeta will meet soon enough? Will Frieza's training on Yardrat reap fruit that could counter all sorts of powering up? Will the Yardratians even give him the time of day? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. And I shall see you in the next video. Catch you later!